everyone, it's Melody here. I have a little bit of a different process video for you today. I am sharing how to add some memorabilia to your album. I scrapbook chronologically. I don't separate my albums. Eventually I may, but for right now I haven't been. So I'm going to include some of Calen's preschool projects in with my regular album since that's, what's going on at this point in time. So I'm finishing up the September portion of my 2013 album, and I had some of these preschool projects that I wanted to include. So first what I'm going to do is I'm actually separating it from the way it was originally stapled, and I have marked on here where the 3 rings will be once it's inserted in the album. So I'm just going to staple right along where those are, and that'll add some stability to it once it's in my album. I will cover up these staples so you're not going to see these, but it's just to hold the project together. This is a little book that the teacher made up, and it says, brown bear, what do you see? And then it has a picture of each kid in his class, and it says their name. So I'm just using some scrap paper here. I have cut some little tabs, and they're 1 inch by about 3 inches wide. So 1 inch tall by 3 inches wide. And that's how each of them are cut. And so I'm going to score it right in the middle at 1.5 basically. So I've got 3, 1 for each hole that's going to be punched. See, and you can see that's exactly how I'm going to place it over it. So I'm going to score it just to make things easy here. And I am going to go ahead and draw a 1 inch marking around where that center line is, just so I can make sure I have them all lined up pretty easily. And like I said, that staple will now be covered up once these tabs are added on. This is pretty easy. It's just, and I know you can buy little tab things to already put on, but I didn't see any point in buying something when I had all this scrap paper and I have creativity where I can figure it out myself. So that's what I did. So I've scored them at 1.5, or that's what I'm going to score them at, is 1.5. So I know I've mentioned this before. If you've watched my channel for a little while, I am catching up on Project Life. I started, and I didn't start with my current pictures. I started about a year ahead from where I actually started. So actually probably more like a year and a half. So I started out behind, and I knew I was going to be behind, but I wasn't in any rush. I just scrapbook as I go. It's filed in my album chronologically, so I can do a page from today. I can do a page from 5 years ago. It doesn't really matter. It's still going to be in my album in the same spot. So, and I like mixing up pictures. I mean, I'm mixing up colors and collections in my album, so I don't scrapbook with one collection at a time. Or if I do, I don't scrapbook at see, I'm going to score them now at 3/4 of an inch. And then I'll fold it again with the bone folder. So I'm just going to keep talking while you're watching. So like I said, I don't mind. I like having things, mixed up in my album. Now, if I'm going to do a Project Life spread, I try to make sure that the colors all coordinate on the page that I'm doing. And sometimes I'll do a 2-page spread where I'll have the colors coordinate from the left side, the left page to the right page. But typically, I really don't put that much thought into it. I just scrapbook the pictures I'm working with. I scrapbook it how I like the way it looks, and then that's about it. So I don't make it too complicated. I know it's very easy to make things complicated when it comes to scrapbooking, but I really just do it for enjoyment, and then I like to share it because I like to watch other people's process videos. So with that being said, if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. It just kind of gives me some feedback over what you guys like and then what you'd like to see more of. I do things like this all the time with the memorabilia and adding different things to my scrapbook, and I don't know if you guys like to see that or not, but if you do, please let me know because I'll make sure I include it more often. I have all different kinds of things stuck in my scrapbook. I mean, I can do a scrapbook share if you guys would like to, but let's say, like in my October pictures, which is what I'm working on right now from 2013, I was going back and looking at my 2014 October pictures, and we go to this state fair every October. October is a huge month for us. We like Halloween just because we get together. We do a lot of different things with friends, and okay, going back to what I'm doing right now, I am adding some double-sided tape inside this part of the little tab, and that's just going to, again, add some stability. And I'm going to do that for each one. So going back to it, October is just such a busy month for us, and I like to include a whole bunch of different things. We always go to a festival at the YMCA. We always do Halloween with our friends. We includes dinner and then trick-or-treating. We always do something at the school for Halloween. Our anniversary is also October 28th, so it's a few days before Halloween. We always do the state fair every October. So October is just a really big month for us, and we typically have a lot of pictures. So October in my scrapbook album has a ton of stuff in it. I include the state fair winners' recipes in my scrapbook. I mean, I have a lot of stuff in there. So if you guys would like to see that, please let me know. I will gladly do a flip through of my album if it's something you like. So now I'm taking my crocodile, I guess is what you call it. I have two, and I can never remember which one is called which. So I'm just punching some holes, and these are really small holes. So I'm just kind of doubling up here just to make the hole a little bit bigger. Actually, I guess tripling up here, just making the hole a little bit bigger. Now, I later thought about this. Once I put the tabs on my project, I then actually put it in my 3-ring hole punch. I can't put a 12 by 12 sheet protector in my hole punch because it's designed for 8.5 by 11 or an 8.5 inch tall piece of paper or smaller. So, but this would have definitely fit, and I actually went back right before I put it in my album and punched it with that, and it just makes bigger holes, and then it also makes sure that it lines up with the rings in the 3-ring binder. So just a tip, if you have like a 3-ring hole punch, you know, that you would use for a notebook for school, just use that, add the tabs, and then punch the holes with that. It's just easier instead of punching these holes all separately. Not that that was that hard, but you know what I mean. Okay, now I'm going to add them to the project. Again, I'm going to use my double-sided tape, and this is actually just Scotch double-sided tape. I just took it out of the little plastic thing that it comes in, and I added it in my tape holder thing. I don't know what it's called, but it holds tape. It's just the easiest way because this is weighted. It has sand in it, and it's easy to pull off a piece of tape, whatever it's in that, versus the little plastic thing that it comes in. So I'm going to use the lines that I have marked on my project, and I'm just going to line it up and just sandwich the paper between. Pretty easy. These little inserts probably are 10 to 15 pages thick, so they're decently thick. They're not thin, and so I wanted to make sure that it held up in my album with people flipping through, because this is something Calen has actually, since I made these, he's probably pulled it out 3 or 4 times and looked at it, and I made these 2 weeks ago, I guess. So whereas before it was just in a plastic box waiting for me to do something with it. So I like putting them in my albums because it ensures that people are going to look at it. If nothing else, he and I will go back and look at it. But that's all it's there for. It's just there for us. If other people see it, that's great, but it's just there for us. That's the purpose of my scrapbook album. So after I add these tabs, I'm going to go through and I'm going to decorate. I had 2 different inserts, and I'll have pictures of both of them, but I think I'm only going to go through the decorating process of one with you. The other insert I have is called My First Day of Preschool, and what it has in here are a picture that he drew, and it says, "Our first day together, my first masterpiece." It has an all about me page that says how old he is, how tall he was, what color hair and what color eyes. It has a picture of his class. It has a handprint. It says, "This is the hand you used to hold when I was only 2 years old." It has what I like to eat. It has pictures that he's cut out of magazines. It has fingerprints, and then it has a footprint as well. And it's actually a really cool idea to have that on a first day of school. So I'm just flipping through here showing you the pictures that are in there, just kind of an idea. And so you can see it covers up the staples. I mean, you still can kind of see them, but it's not a big deal. All right, so that's how you add the tabs. Very easy. There's the second one that I have, and then I'm going to decorate both of these before they go into my album. I'm not going to overly embellish them, but I'm just going to decorate them a little bit. So here's how I embellish one of them. So I first took the Brown Bear book, and I added some washi tape just along the border, just to dress it up a little bit. And this washi tape actually came from Target a long time ago. It's one of those cheap packs that came together. So I want to add a little tab or something here at the top. I had handwritten what it was, and I wanted to cover that up and just make it a little bit nicer looking. So I'm going to take this little cut apart sheet, and this was actually from a girl collection, so I don't mind cutting up the little cards in here because I'm not going to use them very frequently, being that I don't have any girls. And I'm just going to use these different alphas here that you see. I've got this one from October Afternoon, and I'm going to write out preschool. And I'm writing it all out before I actually adhere it to the page because I want to make sure I leave enough room when I cut it. So it says school, and then I'm going to put pre right above it. And then once I cut it and put it down, I realized that I was starting to put the wrong year. So it's going to say 2013, but I put the 2 there first. So I'm going to go back. Now I'm going to put the 13. And then once I cut it, I'll have the 2 and the 0. And see, you can see where I have like preschool 2013 to 2014 class. So that's what I'm covering up. And then I also rounded the corners of that little card. Just cutting off the excess here. It's very simple, a simple way to embellish this. All right, now I'm finding his page, and it says, I see Calen, look at me. Calen, what do you see? And that's what it says on each page with the classmates. And so on his page, I'm going to embellish it, and I'm going to put our boy so proud is what I put. Just using some more alpha stickers here. And then I'm also going to go back with some enamel dots. I just have a few enamel dots. I had some that were left over on a sheet, and you know, they were really bright colors and really pretty colors, but I almost didn't have enough to use on another project just because I didn't have enough. I like to do things in 3s, and it's hard to do things in 3 when you only have 2 of one color left or 1 of one color left. So I'm going to use those up on this page. And then I also have a little pack that I have of a little plastic bin or plastic container thing, like of some hearts that I punch out with a small heart punch. So here you go. This is where I'm going to use that last little blue one and then some of the green ones. Just some bright colors. It kind of matches the bright colors in this little album or this little project. And I believe you're going to see here where I have my little heart punch. Yep, here you go. So I have my little heart punch, and I just use scrap pieces of paper. Whenever my scrap little bin starts filling up, I take out all the small sheets and just punch them out with that heart punch. And I'm going to add another little heart punch on the front here, on the top. All right, so that's the first one, and then I guess I am going to show you the second one. I didn't think I had recorded it, but I guess I did. So this is the my first day of preschool, and I do have that picture off to the left, and I'm going to end up scrapbooking that in a 12 by 12 paper page here, and it's going to be the page that faces these little projects in my album. I'm using this Bella Boulevard piece of paper. I love this one. It's yellow with little pale yellow hearts on it. I love yellow, and it was just so pretty. So I have this Project Life card. I believe it came from Me and My Big Idea school themed kit. I got it years ago, but I'm just going to center it on here. And then I have these little fabric sticker things, and I've had them for a really long time, and I didn't know what I was going to do with them, but they're school themed. So I have the ABC 1, 2, 3 in the bottom left corner, and then I'm going to put, the bottom right corner, and then I'm going to put this little apple one up here at the top, and then I'm going to put the one that says school days on the page with his school class picture. So that's pretty much going to finish this one up, and stay tuned at the end for some still photos. Thanks, guys.